sure to fly by. Don't forget to take a moment, take a look up in the sky. Think about the blessings, all the blessings that you got. It's a great day to be alive.
Welcome to Faith in Sports. Hello, I'm your host, Rick Bowles, and my co-host is Mr. James Carnell. We'll introduce our guest here in a minute and our producer here in a few minutes. Faith in Sports will be highlighting coaches, student athletes, and all things Sagu athletics. Sagu is a Christian university located in the heart of Waxahachie, Texas, and our athletic program is part of the Sooner Athletic Conference in the NAIA. We are happy for one of our own alumni sponsoring this fun endeavor. VCR Now is a technology organization that can fulfill all your LED, audio, video, lighting needs, whether at a sports stadium, arena, house of worship, or a business. Well, Mr. Carnell, we got to take care of first things first. We have to address your Dallas Cowboys.
Yes.
If you are the head coach, think about this. You watch the game.
If I'm the head coach.
Yeah. Do you say, hey,
fire Jerry Jones?
We did a great.
I can't do that.
We did a great job this year. Or do you look for another QB? Place the blame on the coordinator, or because you know the coach is not going to blame himself, right?
No.
So solve all of the problems of the Dallas Cowboys for us.
Well, if they would just listen to me in the first place. Okay.
And they're not.
But no, I mean, watching the game and leading up to it, Coach Greg Ellis, our head football coach, former Dallas Cowboy Pro Bowl defensive end, we're talking about this game leading up to it, and both of us kind of felt that we weren't sure that Dallas was going to be able to step up 2 games in a row.
Oh, so you and Coach Ellis.
We both agreed.
Yeah.
We both agreed. And because we just haven't seen it, and sure enough, it just came down to it. Dak did not make his reads correctly, threw some horrible interceptions. If we would have just not turned the ball over and just played smart ball, it would have been, I think, it could have been anybody's ball game towards the end there. But I'm just telling you, I just question. I hate to be I'm not a Dak hater. I really have supported him. I just question some of his decision-making skills. I don't know if that's going to get better. He's in his, 8th year? Going to be in his 8th year. I don't know if those are going to be better. Now, the coordinator positions, I've questioned calling at times. But, I think this comes down on the QB, squarely on the QB this year. Now let me throw a caveat. It did not help that our best running back got a broken fibula, in the second quarter. So, I mean, there went half of our game plan, I think, because all of Dak's best scoring drives, best completion percentages, all of that have come off play action this year. Most of the interceptions that he has thrown this year have been not through play action when he's just basically under center or in a shotgun. So play action has been his bread and butter, and without a legitimate running threat, which I don't think Ezekiel Elliott is anymore, 3.8 yards per carry now. I mean, that's his lowest of his career. 867 yards, I think it was, that he had this year.
I'm impressed with your homework there, buddy.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Lowest total of his career. So, yeah.
Well, I'm going to call Mr. Jones up and maybe offer you as
just
the
tell
coach.
Him I'll take him out to
coordinator.
lunch. Yeah, we'll talk about it, and I'm sure I can help him figure it out.
I'm sure you can.
Yeah, I make an excellent armchair quarterback. Yeah.
Well, let's move on to Sagu. What's happening? What's been going on?
Well, man, we've got great things going on. Now, unlike the Dallas Cowboys, I have nothing bad to say about Sagu's program.
Because the athletic director is to your right there.
Because he's a lot bigger than me, and he's sitting right next to me, so I won't say that. No, here we are really excited about what's going on here. We're in the last half of our men's and women's basketball season, with men and women both winning their last Saturday games against Oklahoma Panhandle State. The men are currently at 12-8, with the women landing at 6-14. Looking ahead to this week in our schedule, the women's basketball team will host the University of Science and Arts of Oklahoma coming up on Thursday at 6 p.m., followed by the men's game at 7:45. That's going to be in the Schaefer Center here on campus. Then they travel to Fort Worth on Saturday to play Texas Wesleyan. That's going to be starting at 2 p.m. But overall, I think we're very excited about what's been happening with Sagu Sports.
We had Coach Deal, who is the men's basketball coach, on the show last week, and he's excited about this half of the season, and I think he's showing that they're seeing some good progress. So we'll see how they end up.
Exactly.
Speaking of basketball, why don't you bless someone with some tickets to this Thursday's basketball game?
Free tickets.
Yes.
Man, I'd love to.
Yeah.
So, hey, this is what you got to do is email me your phone number and email to alumni@sagu.edu. That's alumni@sagu.edu. And we will give 4 tickets to this Thursday night's homecoming basketball games. So just name, phone number, email, and we'll draw a winner and we'll email you the tickets.
So they need to submit those no later than Wednesday morning.
Wednesday morning would be great. I will take them up until 9:59 a.m.
Okay. we will watch the clock to see who our winner is. So.
9:59.
But yeah, that'll be fun. So if you haven't been to a women's basketball game here, come on out. This will be a good game to check it out.
And also, you can purchase tickets online. If you're not a lucky winner, you can be lucky and go to a game by purchasing tickets at sagu.edu /sports tickets. That's sagu.edu /sports tickets.
Well, this weekend we had quite a few track athletes compete in the NCCAA Indoor National Meet. So let's give some congratulations out to the following who qualified for the national championship event. Women's 4x400 meter, men's 4x400, women's 600 meter hurdles.
60 meters.
60, sorry.
That's long. That's a long hurdle contest.
Coach Godding's over here. His eyes got crossed on that one. Men's high jump and triple jump, women's mile, men's 60 meter dash, women's 200 and 400 meter run, and the women's weight throw. Now, is that what they call that?
The hammer.
Yeah, it's the hammer throw, right, Coach?
No, in indoor track and field, it's the weight throw.
Really?
Weight throw.
In outdoor
It's
track
not.
and
It's
field,
not
it's
the
hammer
shot
throw.
put, right? It's different.
No.
It's different than
Wow.
shot.
See, I learned something today.
I did too.
Wow. Okay. All right. Sounds
Wait,
good.
hang on. Mine just blown. There we go. Thank
Let's
you.
also not forget the baseball team will start non-conference action versus Avila University this Saturday at noon at the sports complex here on campus. And this will be a doubleheader as well.
All right, baseball.
A big part of Faith in Sports show, we'll be getting to know our coaches and athletes. And tonight we get to introduce some of you to Dr. Jesse Godding. He is our esteemed athletic director. We'll get money from him later for calling him that. Jesse, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Rick. I appreciate it.
You're already wanting to leave, aren't you?
Yeah, well, no. I'm sitting here wondering. In my mind, I'm trying to picture what a 600-meter hurdle run would look like.
That
and
would
how
be hilarious.
gassed somebody would be at the end of that.
Can you imagine how
I
many?
finished. I don't care what position I finished.
I mean, man,
No kidding.
I would be falling over every one of those.
Prizes
every year.
for everyone.
That's right.
Yes.
Good. Athletics now.
Well, you forgot to mention 2-time athletic director of the year.
Oh, yeah.
Dr. Jesse Godding.
Wow, impressive.
Yes, I'm very impressed by that. That's awesome.
It's fantastic. I just don't want to give him too big of a head.
Well, it's okay. It's on radio, so they can't see it.
That's right.
Go
Well, so
ahead.
Jesse, tell us about your journey to get to SAGU. I've heard a little bit of it, but I know some people have not gotten your story. Tell us how you eventually got here and to become the athletic director.
Oh, man. I'll try and give you the short version
That'd be
of
great.
this.
You've got 1 minute.
So I was, so I was at a sister school, Trinity Bible College in Ellendale, North Dakota, and it's funny because in 1999, Hank Moore, who was then the athletic director, went into the president's office and said, "Hey, I've got 2 names for you for a football coach. I'd recommend this one." And the one he recommended was me, and the president chose the other one.
Do you remind him of that every once in a while?
I've never told him that.
Okay, wow.
Okay?
We'll make sure he's listening.
I've never told him that. And then in the spring of 2002, or I guess it was December 2001, they were calling me because we were having some issues at SAGU with the football program, and so I'm up at Trinity, and we were doing okay, and they said, "Man, how do you do this? Christian campus, blah blah blah." And so we had really good talks, and then they let their coach go. SAGU did, and so we were looking, and I thought, man, this is going to be pretty good. And never heard anything. Got back. Finally called Terry Phipps, who was VP at that point. He said, "Oh, nobody got a hold of you? I said, no.
Did they leave it to the president to call you?
No. But anyway, he said we chose to go in a different way. Well, then later that year, I remember this because it was Easter break and it was Thursday before Good Friday, and I had gone home from my office, and Terry calls me, and he says, "Hey, do you know who this is?" And I said, "Yeah." He said, "Do you know why I'm calling?" And I said, "Well, you're going to tell me." I said, "I know, but you're going to tell me." And he said, "Well, we just, it's not going to work. So we were, wondering if you were still interested in being head football coach at SAGU." And so I came down and interviewed and stuff. And God really, over the course of the next 3-4 months for my wife and I and our family, there were so many things that fell into place that we were able to come down. And we started in July in 2002 and took over the mess.
So besides being a lot warmer weather than, was it North Dakota?
Yeah, I was in North Dakota at
So
that
besides that, what led you to SAGU? What made you decide this is the place to come spend your career?
Oh man, how do I tell the story without getting too deep
In the
here?
weeds.
Yeah.
This is a 30-minute show, not an hour show.
Right. So there was an individual at church one night that said, "Hey, when they're going to come for you, okay?" Because my wife and I had been telling, we had been, "Hey, maybe we're searching to go somewhere else," right? And the person just said, "Look, just hang out. They will come for you." And over the course of the last year that I was at Trinity, I had 2 or 3 episodes where God just told me, "This is the last time you're ever going to do this." Okay? So I knew a change was coming. And the funny thing, hey, they're going to call you. That's not the way that you get jobs, right?
Right.
But we really felt like that was a word from the Lord, and we walked in it and the leading of the Lord. And I can only say that, my wife didn't want to leave North Dakota. That was God. It was so clear that this is what we were supposed to do. And we chose to come and enjoy 70-degree weather in January rather than seeing 70 degrees in April again.
That would drive me to go a little south myself as well. I enjoy the cold, but not as much as North Dakota.
Not for 6 months.
So we hear a lot about athletic directors, and it's usually that they're hiring or firing head coaches usually. But tell us a little bit more about the job description. So what is it that you enjoy about being an athletic director?
Well, I was so when I was at Trinity, I was the athletic director as well for 4 years, and then left here and came to SAGU and was football coach only from 2002 to 2011. In 2011, I took over as athletic director as well, coached through the end of the 2014 season, and then gave up football. So one aspect that I really, really like about being an AD is the fact that I like to, I don't have to be the person, I don't have much of an ego in terms of, hey, like I don't have to turn to James and tell him it's actually been 3 times that I was SAC Athletic Director of the Year.
Oops.
Well, I'm glad I didn't bring that up.
I know.
Perfectly comfortable walking out of this
Hey.
room with people thinking it's only 2.
I gave him 2. You didn't give him any. So, hey,
No, but the reality is that I like to help others succeed, and so I part of being an athletic director is serving a large group of people, and part of being an athletic director is kind of behind the scenes helping them be successful. And I feel like God has gifted me in organization and administration, and God has given me an opportunity to, in turn, use those gifts to help others become successful.
That's great. That's great. It's not everyone enjoys the opportunity to develop other people, and with the good comes the challenge of no one likes to fire people either. So, you just got to take the good as the better and say, hey, I'm going to develop people. I want people to improve, and I appreciate your thoughts on that. So the last couple of years we've had, not because I've only been here 4 years, so I can't go way back, But since I've been here, I know the last couple of years have been very successful for several of our sports. What's your takeaway from the end of 21 and then through this past year of some of the success we've had in some of the sports?
So I think with one thing that had to happen taking over in 2011 and then, building forward, it truly is a situation where Rome wasn't built in a day. There had to be a lot of infrastructure put into place. Once that came along, then it really becomes who are the personalities in charge of these sports. And we've been blessed at SAGU to have some individuals who are just really good at what they do and probably could do what they do at a lot of different places and have chosen.
Don't tell them that.
I think they know, but the beauty of that is that they've chosen to be here and they've chosen to work at their craft here, and we've been able to put them in a situation where, look, if you combine the infrastructure with this personality, then we get success. And that's certainly what's happened here in the last 2-3 years where we've had a lot of athletic success.
So you have quite a few coaches that are under your responsibility. What are some of the key characteristics that you look for, especially in hiring a head coach?
Yeah.
In this scenario specifically.
Yeah. So, you guys probably hear this from every coach, but fit, right? Do they fit the situation? Here's one thing that I look at that I can share in the time that we have. I have to determine when I hire someone, are they a stayer? And what I mean by that is the culture, the mission, and the values of SAGU aren't going to change for you, okay? So you need to be somebody who is fitting into that culture, mission, and values when I get you. Because sooner or later, something in this environment, just like any other environment, I think, but maybe a little more here, something in this environment isn't quite going to stick right with you. And you're going to have to make a decision. Am I committed to the culture, mission, and values above my own mission and values? Because it may not mean that you're successful as fast. It may not mean that you get what you want as a coach. But so that's one of the big things. Like, I got to try and figure out, okay, is this guy a stayer? Like, can he get over the bumps and bruises that are going to take place?
Sure. And you don't want a guy that wins his first championship after maybe if he's blessed after 2 years and go, I'm out of here.
Right.
That can happen.
Yep,
but you
absolutely.
don't necessarily want that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, got one question that's been just burning as you were talking about a lot of this stuff. Have you ever thought about starting a curling team here at SAG?
All the people on this campus, I can one that actually can say I have been curling.
So yes,
that
the answer is yes. We're going to start a curling.
All we need is a large indoor sheet of ice.
Yeah.
And that'll work. That'll work here in Texas.
That'll work here in Texas. Yeah.
I would love to make that. I think I could do that. I think I have the athletic
That's probably
skills.
the only skill you have, but you can do
I think I could do that. Ginger's taught me to sweep, so I could do that.
Growing up in northern Minnesota, curling was part of our physical education course.
Was it?
Yep.
That's great.
Oh my! I'm just seeing it right
it's
there.
so boring. I mean, fun to watch.
Oh, I love it. It's really exciting for me to watch. Okay, serious. Now let's get on a serious note. How many programs do we have currently? Athletic programs do you oversee here currently at SAGA?
15.
15.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Since I took over as AD, we've added softball, men's and women's cross country, indoor track, outdoor track, men's and women's, esports. Trying to think if there's one other, but that's 15 right now. Varsity sports.
I think a lot of people would be surprised to know that number. But you also you've started adding junior varsity
developmental
squads,
programs.
Developmental programs. Let's just call it that.
Yes, that's what we do.
Developmental. Let's just call it that. I like your terminology better.
Developmental programs.
So which ones are currently having those opportunities available?
Well, we started developmental with actually the first team that we did it with was baseball.
Okay.
And I don't know if you know this or not, but our baseball team this spring has 75 student athletes on it.
Wow.
So
It gives them more
Well, if you
people
didn't-
an opportunity to play
yeah,
too, right?
I mean,
Yeah.
so every Monday they're playing a developmental game, and if you did not have that opportunity, then you got about 40 kids sitting around doing nothing for
Right.
an entire year.
Right.
So it was an enrollment management move, and since then we've expanded to softball, men's and women's basketball, and we don't. The NAIA, which we're a part of, governance organization for athletics, has a lot of it has a lot to do with enrollment management when it comes to student athletes and athletic programs. And so there's an infamous athletic program that has 104 basketball players.
Wow.
This year I think we had 42 when we started, and about 20 of those are varsity and about 22 of them are developmental.
Wow. Okay. Well, there's also been some exciting things happening on campus recently. If you've driven by the campus, you've seen it. Tell us what's going on, what we are looking forward to actually utilizing this, hopefully this spring, maybe next fall, and some of our sports.
Well, if you drive onto the campus, you have Phase 1 taking place, go around Schaefer Circle. There's Phase 1, which is track, turf, and lights for our athletic facility. And then out on Solon Road, if you drive by out on Solon Road, there's a practice field and there's throwing events for track and field out there. And in the world's longest construction project, we're excited. We are excited to, they tell me as of today that next Monday we will be able to take over the track and the turf. And so they're fundamentally done.
Wow.
And then all that's left to do is lights for Phase 1. And then we're working on kind of a Phase 1A, which is trying to figure out what we can do with our plaza area, what we're calling our plaza area. And then Phase 2 is how do we get football on our campus? And it's going to be a challenge logistically to get football on our campus, but I think it's going to be a game changer as well to get football on our campus.
I agree. And that's our next big push. And as we move forward, we'll talk more and more about some opportunities with that. But first, I'm very appreciative of VCR Now, and they are our sponsor. And JB, our producer, would you tell us a little bit more about VCR Now?
Texans love doing business with fellow Texans. VCR Now takes its Texas roots as seriously as its many partnerships with schools around the state. It's also why VCR Now is so proud to promote their brand on this broadcast. Driven by producing quality LED sound video boards, state-of-the-art audio and video production systems at affordable prices, VCR Now makes sure to listen to your needs as an athletic department before recommending the best next steps. Building great products is their business. From their 24/7, 365 help desk, the training lab in their hometown of Red Oak, and a sports marketing business plan that puts money back in the hands of athletic departments we support, VCR Now is built to last. VCR Now has provided SAGU with state-of-the-art LED scoreboard in our basketball and volleyball arena, so feel free to come take a look. For more information, visit vcrnow.com.
Thank you, JB. Now, this is the part that I really enjoy. Not that I don't enjoy asking questions, about our guest and their vision and everything about that, but this is where we get to embarrass
Stump the coach.
our coaches. So, we love them, but, you got to have a little fun. So
We do have to have a little
James,
fun.
we got some trivia. Let's get going with this.
Here we go, Coach Gotti. Are
And
you
he
ready?
does not know the questions.
He does not know the question. So let's see your acumen when it comes to sports knowledge. Here we go. When was the first intercollegiate baseball game, and who was it between?
We'll give you multiple
I'm going to
choices.
give you multiple choice. Here we go.
I'm
It's
going
gonna
to say...
hang on, multiple choice. I'm going to give you three guesses here.
Okay.
Williams versus Amherst in 1859, Harvard versus Yale in 1958, or Brown versus Princeton in 1960. Baseball game.
Did you just say 1958 and 1960?
Yes, I did.
Well, then I got to go with 1859 because...
Yeah, we just gave it to you. Yeah, bro. Come on. Yes.
Wow.
We just kind of gave you a little easy one. That's a little slam dunk for you there.
That was more of a softball than a baseball.
Yeah, there we go. Okay. Next question. Who has appeared on the most Sports Illustrated covers? Joe Namath, Reggie Jackson, or Michael Jordan?
I guess I'll go with Jordan. I don't have it.
You are correct. Yes.
Wow. 2 out of 2 so far. I'm impressed.
That's pretty good. All right. Here we go. The first intercollegiate sporting event in America happened on August 3rd, 1852, between Yale and Harvard. What was it? Rowing,
It was crew.
football, or tennis?
It was crew. Rowing.
Rowing?
Yeah.
Wow. Yes, you are correct. Yale and Harvard rowing teams competed against each other on the waters of Lake Winnipesaukee. On August 3rd, 1852, General Franklin Pierce was one of the spectators, and he would be elected president the following year. Very good.
Wow.
I'm impressed.
Yeah. All right.
Spectators.
Yeah. Okay. So he's got, what, 3 out of 3? Mm-hmm. Here we go. How long is a marathon? 25.7?
26.2 miles.
Boom! He didn't even need the multiple
Bumper
choice.
stickers are 13.1 if you've run a half marathon.
Wow.
You just have to double that, James, and you're
Man.
He's trying to show us up now.
He
No, I'm
is.
not.
Yeah, he is.
Okay.
Because I imagine there's one in here that I'm going to go, I don't have a clue.
Okay, so he grew up in North Dakota,
Minnesota.
and Minnesota. So, besides getting in the
Isn't that
sauna,
same thing?
besides getting in the sauna, what you know this? You should know this. What is the national sport of Canada? Is it soccer?
Oh, hockey night in Canada.
or lacrosse?
Yeah, so the guy used to say, scratch my back with a hacksaw. It's hockey night in Canada.
So you go hockey.
I'm gonna.
Final answer.
I guess. I don't know. What else would it
You
be?
are wrong on
Am I
the first
really?
one. Yes, it's lacrosse.
Oh, good grief.
I know. Who would think that, right?
Yeah.
You would think hockey.
Eh?
That's got to be back that in. Oh,
Yeah.
English.
I'm telling you. Okay. All right, here we go. This is the last one. This should be easy to get. You should nail this one.
All right.
The first player drafted in the very first NFL draft in 1936. I'm going to give you 4 names. Sammy Ball, Don Hudson, Bart Starr, or Jay Berwinger. Boom. Go.
Let's say Hudson.
You're going to go Don Hudson.
Or is that too late for him?
I can't help you. You can call a lifeline if you want.
There's no money involved.
There's no money
Lifeline
involved.
would be Rick at this point.
Yeah. All right.
Who
Who are you going to go for?
Yeah, Hudson.
Hudson.
Come on out of Alabama.
Very good. Very good, but wrong. Jay Berwinger, who's the top
Jay
selection.
Berwinger.
He originally was drafted by Philadelphia. His rights were sold to the Bears, Coach George Halas. But his asking price was $25,000 for 2 seasons, and it was too high, so he never signed a contract, instead taking a job as a foam rubber salesman.
Isn't that the truth?
Never
Two,
played.
2 years, so that's
Crazy.
$1,250 or $12,500 a year.
Yeah,
Wow,
and
that-
that was
they
too
said
much for
too
them
much
to
money.
pay.
Which most major leaguers make at a bat right now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
One at bat.
Yeah.
12,500.
All right, one last quick one.
Yeah.
Which NFL team features a helmet logo only on one side of their helmet? Is it, I'm going to give you suggestions, Dolphins, Patriots, Steelers, or Cowboys? Process of elimination.
I must say, is it Steelers?
It is the Steelers. You're right.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It actually was started because they had new helmets in 1962. The new logo was then on solid gold helmets, so they just wanted to see what it looked like, and it stuck because they had a winning season, so they just kept it. And they're the only ones. There you go. Little
Wow.
known facts.
So how many did he get correct?
5 out of 7.
All right.
That's the record.
Wow.
All right. Way to
Let's
go.
give you a hand. Very good job.
Well, Coach, it's been a pleasure having us.
Thank you, guys. I
And
appreciate it.
We really do appreciate you coming and being a part of us. Do we have parting gifts? I guess not. Okay, coming up next week, we will have the infamous Coach Matt. How do you say his last name?
So if he was still in Italy, it would be Cornacione.
Okay.
Cornacione.
But it's just Cornacione.
So he's going to be
people
talking
can-
about the new baseball season coming up.
Yeah.
So
Well, ladies and gentlemen, once again, thank you for being with us on tonight's program. Faith in Sports is a broadcast property of SAGU, a Christian university located in Waxahachie, Texas. And it has over 70 undergraduate and graduate degrees, including on-campus and online options. Faith in Sports is sponsored by VCRNow.com. Visit sagu.edu for more information. Also, stay up to date with all things SAGU athletics at sagulions.com.